here because to show that we're all awake, you know? You don't have to be old, you don't have to be educated by, let's face it, something that's like a system that brainwashes us to only respect white history, to know that something's wrong. But as I came here, I know I wanted a lot of students to come and they weren't able to show up, and I just felt like a failure. And so I was thinking about failure, and I think all of us, we're socialized to think that we are failures, you know? Failure to be white, failure to be male, failure to be straight, failure to be cisgender. And so that feeling of failure is not new to me. I have been taught since I was young that because of my identity, because of who I am a failure. But I just want to say, every time we show up here, we are not failures. The real failures are in that building.
That's right.
They fail us every day. They fail to respect our lives. They fail to respect our children. And they fail to respect the offices that they have been chosen to represent. So we cannot internalize the message that is sent to us that we are failures.
That's right.
We must know who the true failures are. And today we are here, just like we come every week, to show them that we won't forget. If they can't hold themselves accountable, we will. Even though that's not our job, because they failed to do theirs. And another thing, I don't want to talk about failure because it's negative, but I think it's really important that even if one person shows up here, it's a success. Because one person shows up, brings more people, or represents more people, because it's all about unity. They are all organized to be against us. So our greatest power is organization and a sense of unity. So I would just like to thank us for circling up and being here today. And I was wondering if the person who is a family member would like to say anything.
I'd just like to say that young lady, those words that you said were beautiful. And they were so on point. So they were filled. I am here for Email, I'm here for Jesse, I'm here for Riddell, I'm here for everybody. And like you said, it takes unity, it'll take us unifying, it'll take organization, and it'll take us just keeping pressure. And I like to thank Black Lives Matter and all of the other beautiful organizations and you beautiful people that continue to do this hard work. Randall, Ms. Minor, Mr. Keeley, thank you. Thank you, young lady. Thank all of you for being out here, Sister Melina. Thank you. Thank you all. I love all of you too. I love you guys too. And I just thank you guys. Say his name. Egel Ford. Say his name.
Egel Ford.
Say his name.
Egel Ford.
Say his name.
Egel Ford.
Would anyone else like to speak on why this person matters to them? Because we're all here to hear your message.
I'm out here as a Black mama. In solidarity with Egel Ford, Kenny Watkins, Kendrick McDade, Parnell Snell, Waukesha Wilson, Jackie Lacey. Jackie Lacey has sons that look just like them, but she's not doing her job to prevent more of these murders from happening. I'm here as a Black mama of a Black son who is traumatized and in fear of raising my child in Los Angeles, which is the most murderous police department in the country. I'm here because when my son rides the public transportation to school, he's harassed by police officers to make sure he's paid his $24 a month fare. I'm here as a black mama because I'm sick and tired of the bullshit that Mayor Garcetti, by Chief Beck, and definitely Jackie Lacey is refusing to do their job, and they're refusing to listen to the people. And instead, they're protecting killer cops, jobs. Instead of protecting lives, they're putting jobs over lives. We have a right to live. They can get another job. We have a right to life. And it's time that they fire these killer cops and prosecute these killer cops and stop protecting them.
Indict killer cops!
Indict killer cops! Indict killer cops! Indict killer cops! Indict killer cops! Indict killer cops!
It's prosecuted out here now.
Indict and prosecute them.
Perfect. No justice, no peace.
So this is a long struggle. In community with Sister Utopia since Giselle was killed in August of 2014. And I know we keep saying justice for Ezell Ford, and we'll never stop struggling for justice for your son. And we know that they're not going to hand us justice. Right? So as long as this system stands against justice, as long as the system puts targets on our children's backs, right? As long as my daughter and my 2 daughters and my son, we don't have no dog, right? Can't walk dogs, but can't even walk home, right? We're talking about Ezell was walking home, right? Can't walk home. We are gonna struggle, and it might seem like I think a lot of times we ask ourselves, why do we keep coming out? But we can't not come out, right? Because we're not free, right? And so until we get free, we gotta struggle, even when we don't know what our presence is doing. It's doing something, even if it's just building bonds and power with each other, right? And so we have to summon that energy, and we've shared before about how strong Ezell's energy is, right? We summon, the reason we say his name isn't just to remember him, it's also to summon him into the space, because Ezell has been a force in this movement since we were born, right? And so we summon him into the space along with all of the other warrior ancestors who are standing alongside him and standing here in the midst. The reason we create an unobstructed circle is so they can be here. So we should imagine the presence of our ancestors here. And we gotta remember that we always get freer, right? We ain't all the way to freedom, but you know, people couldn't imagine when Mama Harriet was running, right, and freeing us. They didn't know what Canada looked like, right? And so we have to imagine, what does freedom look like, and know that our ancestors have gotten us to spaces of greater freedom every single time. So we will get ourselves to greater freedom every single time. And so I love what Alexis said about claiming this ground. This is our ground, right? This is our space, right? And the false folks who are in here will fall. They will fall as long as we put our energy into building this movement. We only lose when we give up. When we fight, we win, right? When we fight, we win. And so that's why we say it is our duty to fight for freedom. It is our duty to
win, because we win, right? When we fight, we win. And so we're committed to the struggle. We're committed to you. We're inspired by you. Thank you for, I know even when you're not physically present, we feel your energy. And we hope that we can continue to stand for you when you can't be here. We're going to stand for you. And we're thankful for you constantly pouring energy into us and reminding us of why we have to keep struggling. So we're committed. We're going to be here. And I'm convinced that she is going to fall. I'm convinced that Beck is going to fall. I'm convinced Garcetti's going to fall. He can quote his own name for president all he wants to. That ain't going to happen. I'm convinced that the people who occupy the White House, they going to fall. And that's this energy. And I was talking to Amara in the car, and I'm sorry for talking longer than I planned, but I was talking to Amara in the car about like universal energy that I think all of us are feeling burdened by right now, right? I asked him, does that feel crazy to you? That I feel like there's this energy that is weighing on us, right? And that happens, I feel like the greatest weight comes just before we burst into power. And so let's know that as we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the election of the eagle that occupies the White House, right, that we are about to burst into greater power. And let's claim that, let's know that, and let's move in that knowing that every day that we're here, every tweet that we send, every Facebook post that we make, every person that we talk to, every prayer that we give, and every time we call the names, right? We're summoning that power, and it's just a matter of the moment to come that we'll win, because we are going to win. We will win.
We are powerful.
We are powerful.
We don't need any confirmation of that, but they're afraid of us.
That's right.
They're afraid of us.
That's right.
No matter how many people show up, they're afraid of us. People are afraid of the truth.
That's right.
And that's who we are.
That's right.
Say it. So right.
I've been thinking, I spent all day yesterday with the LA Times list of people who have been killed by the police since Jackie Lacey took office. And it's a very painful process of listing the names and the ages. And one of the things that impresses me is how many young people, black and brown, we have lost in this city. What the loss is, we have no idea, because these are all really young people. Some under 20, a lot of them in their 20s. And we have, I think, a responsibility to not let them feel like this is normal, that it's okay for them to be targets of the police, that it's okay for them to feel afraid all the time and to cower in front of these authority figures. I always think back of the study I did of the witch trials in Europe, where over 3 centuries about 9 million women were killed, just for being women mostly. But it embedded in our psyches, as Westerners at least, this notion that women are bad, women aren't good enough, women deserve to be punished, suffering is part of our lives. And we don't want that to happen to our young people. So we have to stop this, and we have to get justice, because otherwise it will just continue, and it will be so much embedded that it will take centuries to overcome. So that's why I'm showing up.
I have stood in these lines before. Many of us have. And we have been right all the time. And we have succeeded. Many of us have been in a circle like this to kill Jim Crow. And we succeeded. Many of us have been in a circle like this to make sure that farm workers had rights. Many of us have been in a circle like this to end wars. And we were right. We have succeeded. We will succeed. And so, Alexis, this is no failure. Many of us have stood here before. Many of us have questioned, should I be here the next time? And many of us have shown up. That's what's important. It's when you show up. I have asked myself for over 40 years, what's at stake? And what happens if I don't show up? And so I show up. That's what keeps me going. So I want to say thank you, Alexis, and welcome. You have taken your rightful place. And I enjoy standing next to you.
Yes, yes.
We have a lot of organizations. I would like to hear any group. I would like to hear experiences show that the powerful alliance that we have. So we have White People for Black Lives. We have AIM. Who else do we have? We have Easter. Who else do we have?
Secular CSO from Moral Heights. Work with 5 families that have been killed by LAPD, their loved ones. In Moral Heights alone, the Columbine Division, we've had 7 killings in the last 18 months. Just in the Moral Heights area alone. But that is a major scandal tragedy, right? We feel that Columbine Division has a nest of assassins that they think they can kill Mexicans and get away with it. Because originally they think all them Mexicans are not going to protest like the blacks. But we and I have been inspired by the Black Liberation Movement, by Black Lives Matter, to fight and organize the families in Ball Heights to demand that Jackie Lacey prosecute this killer cop. So we're here in solidarity with all you all, especially the Black Liberation Movement, Black Lives Matter, from Ball Heights. We have families that will be coming in the future that have been here before. And it's really an honor for you to be holding in solidarity the poster saying jail the police that have killed Jesse Romero. By the way, Jesse Romero, 14-year-old, that was killed August the 9th of last year by the LAPD cop. His name is Eden Medina. 12 days earlier, he had killed Omar Gonzalez in Ball Heights. A lot of people don't know that. But we have killer cops all over LAPD. But even especially, there's a nest of assassins in Ball Heights of Hollenbach that we want to get prosecuted. So we're here to demand that Jackie Lacey prosecute the cops, and we're inspired by the black families who will continue to struggle. And you're right, this is called the Hall of His Justice. Because in 1943, they arrested 20 young Chicanos for allegedly murder, the Sleepy Lagoon case. Historical case where they accused them of being pachucos. Pachucos back then was referred to, they're now gangbangers, right? Nowadays they accuse black and Chicano youth of being gangbangers. They use that as an excuse to arrest and kill our youth. But in 1943, they arrested over 20 young men, the Sleepy Lagoon case, for being gang members for murder. But it took solidarity and protests like here today to free them. They were convicted and sent to jail. But years later, on appeal, the case was overthrown. There's a lot of history of the black community, the Chicano community fighting against police murders, against frame-ups. So, you know, we're glad to be here in solidarity with you all. We'll be here out there every week till we win justice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Say his name. Jesse Romero. Say his name.
Jesse Romero!
Say his name.
Jesse Romero!
Say his name.
Jesse Romero!
So they lock us out this building too. This is a public building paid for with our tax dollars, right? We know that until we started coming, people had the freedom to come and go into this building as we please. They put this barricade up to keep us from coming in, and they put a sign on the door saying that this is an employee entrance. The public entrance is supposed to be on Temple Street. However, when we come, I don't know what happened. We tried to gain entry. Michael and Donovan tried to go in, and what happened?
They wouldn't let us in. They claimed you have to have an appointment. They said it's always.
This is not a public building. This is an appointment. You got an appointment. You thought you can get in.
So remember last week we gave out the number that you can call to ask for an appointment, and we're asking that everybody continue to call as often as possible, at least every day, and request an appointment. Request an appointment as a citizen of LA County who's supposedly served by Jackie Lacey. Okay? So remember that. And if anybody doesn't have the number, we have the number on our, I think it's, and I think it's 200. Everybody have any answers? Gave it out last. I'll check it. Check it. I think I have a screenshot. Okay, you want to say, Audrey, Audrey, you want to say it loud enough? Right. Yeah. That's it.
3512.
That's yesterday, Bob?
213-974-3512. We could start calling now. That's right. We also know that there was, where's Matt? You tried to get in last week. Can you tell us
I was trying to get in last week. I tried to make an appointment. The person behind the partition.
They sent you from this building to that building.
Yes, right.
You walked in and then they sent you across?
Yes, we tried to walk in over here, and then I think they realized that we were with the group, so they sent us across to this building. We went into this building, went upstairs. The woman inside was taking our information and I said, we want to talk. She said, who is we? And I said, me and my friends. And I think that she put it together. So she referred me to the website to fill out a form on the website. So it's clear that they don't want to have this conversation. They don't want to have it in a meaningful way, because if you say that 300 killings were in policy, then you say that the system was designed to kill black and brown people. So they don't want to admit that, because if they admit that, then the general public will understand that, and they're going to be forced to change, which they will be forced to do.
I'll speak on some things concerning Jackie Lacey. Family moved out of LA to Pomona in search of, a better life. Unfortunately, my daughter just stayed in LA. They shouldn't even moved out there. But with regards to Jackie Lacey, I mentioned this to some people. We just had 3 Pomona police officers indicted for the corruption of assaulting citizens at the LA County Fair. This is 4 years after the fact. But the problem is Jackie Lacey had nothing to do with it. She completely ignored it from the time that it happened to the time it went up on YouTube, to the LA Times article, to the Daily Bulletin article, had not a word to say about it. And around that same time, we had a person named Andre Savila. He was beaten by the Pomona Police Department. He decided to do what any responsible citizen might consider doing. He went to the Pomona Police Department and he filed a complaint against the Pomona Police. A few weeks later, he was shot down by the Pomona Police, unarmed. And Jackie Lacey had nothing to say about it. So when it comes to this system, we asking for accountability. We asking for checks and balances. But when I see the face of Jackie Lacey, I see a system of smoke and mirrors, and that's what she's giving us. So that's why I'm standing out here, because I'm tired of smoke and mirrors. I'm tired of not seeing any accountability, and it's hard just to move forward. Lena always says, hold the line, pending revolution. Well, that's what we're trying to do out here, because these police will kill us. They will kill us. They will kill organizers. They will, like I said, how can I even go to the Pomona Police and file a complaint when the last person we know that filed a complaint got killed by the Pomona Police? Where does that put us? So that's why I'm out here today. I'm fighting back against these smoke and mirrors, and I'm demanding some accountability.
524-year-old problem of indigenous people and colonization, from slavery to colonization of this country. So we're trying to take the problem to the very people that have designed it, and that's a problem. So they're not going to give us justice right now. They won't even let us in the building. So I believe that we need to come up with creative, innovative solutions to address this matter, to have self-sufficiency in our communities, to do for our own communities. Because they're not going to give us what we're asking for, and we're slow to get what we're asking for. We stand here in solidarity with the families that have lost loved ones. Prayers out to your families. We'll be here. I myself will be here. All the members can't be here every time due to scheduling and whatnot, but just know we are here in solidarity with you and in support of your families and your loved ones. This time, we need to come up with other solutions, because I believe in direct action. I believe in showing up, and this is a definite voice right here to initiate change. But at the same time, you got to realize how this country was, the very inception of this country was built on deception and lies. And right now we're standing on Tonga land. We're saying it's just a call, but this is Tonga land here. Chumash and Tonga land. So first of all, we have to honor the land that we're on and the people that allow us to be here on their land. Okay, so we want to pay homage to the Tonga people. And you have to pardon me, I just came from a long medical test, so I haven't eaten anything and my brain is fuzzy. So pardon me, but just know we're here in solidarity with you. Anything you need, we're here to support the families, and we're here for anything that's needed as far as direct action, online support, community outreach, whatever you guys need, we're here. Thank you.
Most of the people that are killed by police are in their 20s. And many of them are under 20. Jesse Romero was only 14 years old. And it starts in our schools. We have police in our schools. And if you have police in your schools, you are convincing children that they are criminals. And then you are giving yourself an excuse to criminalize them and shoot them. So when we talk about, students deserve, it's not just we deserve, respect and not policing in our schools. We're talking about we deserve life. We deserve the basic rights that we are born into as babies. It's human rights. The government doesn't give us these rights. These are the rights that are born within us, and it is supposed to be their job to uphold these rights. And from a young age, they are failing us, and they are restricting these rights. So it is, as young people, we are out here to reclaim our rights and reclaim this land and reclaim ourselves.
Yeah. I just explained to Jackie Lacey's assistant, her name is Cheryl. Case, and she said, "Oh, that sounds like it really does deserve some investigation." And I'm going to talk to the people who are investigating it in the unit and call you back. So, friends, I will report if she calls me back. Yeah, Cheryl. Oh, she's the assistant. The rude one. Yeah, the rude one.
Explain the last time that happened when we got a call from Cheryl?
Yeah. I'll explain it. Cheryl came out and talked to two of the mothers and wanted to focus on their particular cases, but they were asking for a meeting of all of the families with Jackie Lacey. This woman just told me Jackie Lacey does not meet with members of the public. I said, yeah, I pay her salary and she won't meet with me. Yeah, thanks. So anyway, Melina got her to commit to talking to Jackie Lacey about setting up an appointment and to calling her back that day. She did call back. She said, I want you to know I'm a woman of my word. I'm calling you back. So Melina said, so when is this meeting going to be? When is this going to happen? And she said, I'm a woman of my word. I called you back today. And she hung up the phone. I'm a woman of my word.
Maybe she only has one word.
My name is Kwasi Nkrumah. I'm the co-chair of the Martin Luther King Coalition of Greater Los Angeles. I come to you directly out of Dr. King Street. That's how I started. I've been continuously active for 55 years. I'm out here because 5 or 6 years ago, I see 5 faces here that would have been here 5 or 6 years ago. What is so important about Black Lives Matter is that you have been showing up consistently for the past 3 or 4 years on these issues. Every time there's a need for a community voice on these issues. And we want you to know that we greatly appreciate and value the work that you're doing. We support you. Whether or not you may see us at every action, we publicize every initiative that Black Lives Matter undertakes in the community that we feel that will be of benefit in terms of solving these problems. We also have gotten locked up with you in the past and will do so in the future if necessary. And it's really absolutely critical, and very important that now, whereas perhaps 5 or 6 years ago, 5 or 6 of us would be here, today I see about 20 or 25 people. That is a qualitative leap. Also, the fact that so many of the people who are now activating and turning out are in fact young people, because those of us who've been active for a long time, for many years, there were no young activists stepping up to lead the struggles. And that has changed. That is a qualitative change that spells the fact that there's going to be some change coming down the road, because you are now taking up the struggle and you are going to be that ongoing leadership to fight on these issues. So we want you to know that we have your back and that we will be there to support you. We are there to support you, whether you see us at every action or not. We are in fact doing things to make sure that people in the community are aware of what you're doing, are supporting all of your important initiatives, and we really look forward to working with you all. There's another initiative going on nationally that I hope that everybody is aware of. There's a new Poor People's Campaign being generated. It's coming out of a movement based in the South. We feel that that movement is going to help to regenerate a lot of the economic justice struggles in our communities and tie it to the prison industrial complex, tie it to the question of police murders, and tie it to the basic issue of our lack of political power. The reason why these people brush us off is because the truth is our communities are not respected as a political power. We are not effectively using the numbers that we have against the forces in the body politic who are not working in our interest. And that is part of what must change. We have got to make them pay consequences for not doing their job, for not dealing with the problems in our communities, and for not simply responding when people from the community come down here to raise legitimate issues. The only way to change that is we've got to make a move on a number of these people who occupy institutional positions. We believe that the police commission, for example, needs to be replaced. We don't believe that we can get that replacement by begging them or the mayor to change their behavior. What we believe is that we need to take advantage of the city charter of the city of Los Angeles and get a citizen initiative movement underway to put on the ballot an elected police commission that has hiring and firing power. We have the political power, according to the city charter, to do that. We need to start using it. When we start becoming a political force, we will not be brushed off by people who've been elected to office because they know that there'll be a consequence. So, you know, there's so much that we have to do, and there's so many people who have to be organized in order for us to effectively do it. And we appreciate everything that you are doing in that direction, and we want to support you every step that we possibly can.
Because they playing games, but we're not playing. We're serious out here, and they want to like make jokes out of us, but this proves that we're not a joke. They got barricades out here. They got a dude in fucking
They're armed over there.
Out here. I don't know what they're
Scared, God, he's got his.
They scared.
He's scared. He needs to be armed.
We don't even have. Yeah.
He has tactical gear. I don't know what is that little yellow thing.
We also have the mother of John Horton out here, who is another one. John Horton was another of them murdered. So I was wondering if she would like to say a few words about her community and her son.
You know what? You're very right. It's important that we come in numbers, because that's all they respect. They're not going to respect just a certain group of people. When you take to the streets like Trayvon, they did for Trayvon Martin, like they did for Mike Brown, that's what they going to respect when you got city to city and city and city fighting for the same cause. My son was a victim of Lee Baca and Paul Tanaka. He was the victim. Now I'm the parent stepping out, showing that my son was one of your victims. I got everything in the world to prove. I got the pictures. I got his autopsy report. His liver was busted, kidney was busted, pancreas busted. They broke my baby nose. Hit him so hard in the head when they left the flashlight. This ain't coming from my pathologist. This coming from the county coroner. But guess what? They want to look away. As long as we don't come together and fight for our babies, this gonna go around down from generation to generation. Think about it. The county jail been since there since 1963. Who was pouring in here in 1963? Us. All of our people was pouring in here in 1963. So it was built for our people. And then they said that it was for people that was drunk, staying overnight. Okay, so while people living in there from month to month, and Lee Baca, you get the chance to stay out, faking your Alzheimer's, because just before you got arrested, You was just finna run for office. So how all of a sudden you got Alzheimer's all of a sudden? So everybody should start using Alzheimer's to get out of jail. Not just keeping it real. We all should have amnesia when it comes time for us to get arrested. So how do Lee Baca get to go to jail, get out, hit top Paul tonight where he really didn't go to jail, probably just got walked through around the corner and back, around the block. You know what I'm saying? Cause your special, stuff that they give them. So here Paul Tanaka, here Lee Baca, y'all done been arrested for letting inmates get beat. But see, but one thing y'all ain't talking about, you ain't talking about them deaths. See, I'm one of the parents of the deaths. See, I can show you that you killed mine. See, yeah, we don't prove that you beat a lot of people, but I can prove that you killed a lot of people. And not only is the sheriff department covering it up, but the county coroner giving alters autopsy reports to straddle the fence to help them. And see, this could be proved. So that's what we need to do is open up that door and show where they playing with people's lives, where you lying at, and show those lies. So they can't keep looking away over here. You know how many babies done lost their lives up in that county jail, and they deaths been, they hung themselves, or they fell out the bed, hit their head. No, I bet you the kind of money, if we fight, go dig them bodies up. And I bet you those babies will speak for themselves. Their own bodies will speak for themselves. So that's what we have to do. We got to come in numbers. That's all they respect, like you said. Right. Dr. King showed us that.
Anyone else have comments? Have some smart. Give thanks, everybody.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Give thanks.
Get treated better than the people y'all work for. What kind of, I don't even understand that, but it's the policies that they got set to help them to work against the people that they work for. Everything that happened to our family, our kids and everything in those places, it's the policy. He protected by this policy. And that's what we really need to fight, the policy that they got working for them, but you working for us, but the policy you got set to work against us, but to work for you.
Fight bad policy.
They're working for white supremacy is what they're working for.
Exactly. Yeah. And then they got the brothers on the force acting just as worse as the one. You get me what I'm saying? The brothers on the force working just as worse as the white supremacy. Hell yeah.
The minds are colonized. That's why. Yeah. The minds are colonized. That's right.
How could you work for a force killing your own people?
Absolutely.
Give thanks, everybody. It's a blessing again to be here, to stand strong, We just ask that everybody embrace. Of course, unity is what we're talking about, right?
Exactly.
So we just ask everybody, put your phones down just for a second. Let's embrace, because unity is where it's at. First of all, I want to give thanks for the young people. And I'm Pastor Smart with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, Dr. King's SCLC in the house, amen? Amen. SCLC in the house. Amen. Still standing strong, still walking the walk, talking the talk of Dr. Martin Luther King, and still representing unity. So you know what? We came here from a lot of different homes today. But we come here with one purpose. Let's say one purpose.
One purpose.
One purpose.
One purpose.
One purpose.
One purpose.
To those folk looking on, we might seem like we come from all different types of tribes and neighborhoods, but really and truly, this is one tribe. When we come together, we're one tribe. And so we want to give thanks for tribal unity. We want to give thanks for the strength, the struggle, and we want to just hold hands as a sign of peace and good intention. We all spoke today about moving to the next level. We're speaking about resistance. We're speaking about the blood that cries from the ground. Let's call the children out. Start system. Call your son out.
John Hart.
John
ground. John Horton speaks from the ground.
Ezel Ford.
He speaks from the ground.
Waukesha Wilson.
He speaks from the ground.
Jesse Romero.
He speaks from the ground.
Edwin Rodriguez.
He speaks from the ground. Why is this important? Go ahead.
Jose Mendez. He speaks from the ground.
And why is Jones? Go ahead.
He speaks from the ground. Celine Moetu. He speaks from the ground.
Michelle Shirley.
He speaks from the ground. Why is this important? Because many folk think that when you take somebody out, you kill their voice. Exactly. But we are their voice. And their voices are speaking from the earth that holds their memories so dear. And so we just want to stop for a minute and allow their memory to stand within the circle. So we just ask that everybody just pull in the force, pull in the unity, pull in the bright light that they hold dear. And just in this we increase our numbers. Just in this we increase our space. Now I want everybody to take their right hand and I want you to pivot around and I want you to pull from your community. And I want you to throw some folk in from your community. Pivot around and throw some folk in the circle from your community. This is how we're going to start reaching. Pull from your community. Say, I got some cousins that need to be involved. I got some neighbors that need to be involved. I got some next door folks that need to be involved. I need to text some folk about the movement. I need to stop Facebooking about what's the new makeup, what's the new style, and I need to pull those Facebook friends into the movement. I need to Instagram? Let's just stop right now, Instagram somebody, Facebook somebody. Pick up your phone and send a message out or text. You need to be involved. Send somebody a message. You need to be accountable. You need to be accountable. That's right. You need to be accountable. Starting today. If numbers is what we're looking for, then we're going to have to start taking responsibility right here to send out this energy. This is incredible energy. But let's pull in about 10 more each, right? Let's pull in 10 more people each. Because it's what? It's about the tribe. It's about the tribe. It's not about you coming from the west side, south side, east. It's about it's tribe time. So now that that's done, I want us to turn to the person on your right. Put your hand on their shoulder. And I want you to speak into their life. I'm holding you accountable. To hold me accountable. Now turn to your left. Tell the person in front of you, I'm holding you accountable. To hold me accountable. It's all about unity. Ashe.
Jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
So we're coming at least once a week. And so it is about numbers, but it's about more than numbers, right? It's about more than numbers. We already got numbers. We had 11,000 petition signatures. Right. She don't care about these numbers, right? It's also about the energy that we're creating and our commitment to both resist and build something different, right? People, I think Tamara said it best when she said, we can't expect this system to reform itself. The system was designed to produce these outcomes, and they're so petty about it. Let me just say, I'm gonna take a little, I went to go to the restroom, take my child to the restroom. They now have the barriers up on the public entrance.
On the restroom.
We're closed today. You're not closed today. It's not Veterans Day. You're not Rose today. Can she just use the restroom? No. They won't even unlock the door, so, you know. They won't even unlock the door for a child to use the restroom in a building that we paid millions, I don't even know how much is this, probably hundreds of millions of dollars for this building, right? And so we're not even allowed access to a building that we paid for. Don't nobody, none of these security, they ain't pay for this building, we pay for them, right? So we're here because we know that this is really an edifice to white supremacists, capitalism, white supremacists, I'll say the whole thing, patriarchal, heteronormative capitalism. And that's what it's built for. And it's built to keep us outside literally and figuratively. So this energy that we're building is not just about saying, Jackie Lacey, do something. We might get nice phone responses. Oh, it sounds like we should investigate Keisha, Michael, and Mark Quentin Sandlin. Yeah, you think, right? We might even get a prosecution. We want 300 prosecutions, right? They're not going to do that because the system was designed to produce these outcomes. So we are outside, recognizing that our power is on the outside. All I meant to say is we will be back. They already know when we gonna be back, so it doesn't matter. Ain't no secret.
See y'all next week.
Next Friday, November 17th. Dahlia, do you want to announce it?
Yeah, next Friday, November 17th at 11 a.m. White people, Black Lives will be leading the next action. So we hope that we will see all of you there. We have, we're not going to let you know now what's going to be happening, but we got a plan. And so we hope to see you at 11 a.m.
So all those people you just texted or called or Facebook, let them know November 17th, Friday, November 17th at 11 o'clock, right? We need them to be here, right? We also have meetings coming up because we tried to have a little kind of short meeting at the end of our last demonstration, but we know they're watching, right? They're watching us, so there's only so much we can do. There is a Black Lives Matter meeting this Sunday at 7 p.m. There's a White People for Black Lives meeting
Sunday at 11 a.m.
And they can check. You can check our Facebook page for the locations. And we welcome everybody to come. These are spaces where we can do more planning. Not everything will be planned because we also know, we know some of y'all ain't right? Maybe, no, probably some of y'all too, right? Some of the folks in the meeting aren't on the, So we know that. We're not pretending like everybody is legit, but we will do some planning there, okay? So we want to make sure that we do some planning and kind of think about how we're going to move forward.